Today, I'm going to show you the most shredded man in the world. Let's learn about his story, his physique, training, and diet. Helmut strebl is an Austrian bodybuilder and fitness model who rose to fame from the 2000s to the 2010s, considered by many as the most shredded man in the world due to his incredibly sculpted muscles. Exceptional muscle quality could be seen in his body, with each fiber contracting. He reached an extraordinarily low body fat percentage of 3% at his lowest point, and who knows if he ever approached 2%. Something unthinkable for most humans. Born on November 6, 1968, in Austria, Helmut is currently 55 years old and still alive, but has stepped back from social media. Helmut strebl started lifting weights at the age of 12 as a means of self-defense, describing himself as skinny, weak, and an easy target for bullies. Helmut began training at home with his body weight and 2 detergent-filled water bottles as weights. As the years passed, he transitioned to a real gym, and his discipline and focus on becoming a fitness model started yielding impressive results. Early on, lofty aspirations and mental conditioning were key aspects of his life in physical training and competition. He had a highly methodical approach to weightlifting, planning everything well in advance, not just day by day or week by week, but months ahead. He meticulously planned his different muscle group training sessions and detailed his diet, which he followed with unwavering discipline. Physically impressive from a young age, Helmut's prime was between 40 and 50 years old, much later than most contemporary bodybuilders. It took him a considerable amount of time to achieve that muscular quality, reaching that level of muscle mass and symmetry that characterizes him. At that time, he stood at 190 centimeters or 6 feet and 3 inches and weighed between 88 and 93 kg or between 194 and 205 pounds, all of it muscle. How did he build such a physique? Let's look at not only his training but also his diet. His training was highly varied, often working with his body weight, engaging in calisthenics exercises like push-ups, parallel bar dips, pull-ups. Also variations such as archer pull-ups, with precise control of movement, with great awareness of what was happening in his body at every moment, technique, elongation, and contraction. He also trained with free weights, dumbbells, barbells, cables, and machines. Every so often, he worked isometrically, other times with slow and controlled contractions, played with tempos, occasionally performed ballistic and power movements, used low, medium, and high loads at low reps. As you can see, a highly varied and effective training regimen helped him build a fibrous, tough, rock-solid muscle. What really motivates me is my mission to serve as a graphic example of achieving fitness ideals, dreams, and more. My life is my message, he commented. His weekly training schedule was as follows: 6 days of training and 1 rest day. There were few exercises, yet many sets of each. He did supersets, working to failure, and between sets, he performed a breathing routine, deeply inhaling and exhaling approximately 5 times before moving on to the next set. During that rest, he focused and mentally prepared for the next set, completely concentrating on his goal and what he was about to do. He was highly methodical, always advising to take your time, listen to your body, execute the exercise with good technique, and be fully focused and concentrated on what you're doing. The quality of his muscles and his symmetry were proof that Helmut connected his mind with his body during training. His physique not only served him as a model, but also led him to compete numerous times over 20 years, in bodybuilding shows and various sports, consistently placing high and often winning. Imagine all that time, during those 20 years, when he wasn't just shredded in the pre-competition stages but maintained an almost unsustainable condition for most bodybuilders throughout the year. I believe that to thrive in the sport, one needs great dreams and a mindset willing to achieve them. Bodybuilding is the art of the possible. I'm not randomly quoting his legendary phrases. He often gave motivational speeches, talks, and tried to inspire people. Now you may also wonder about his diet to maintain such a physique. What was special about it? It was a high-protein, lean diet. He often ate chicken and turkey. He consumed sweet potatoes and brown rice. He cycled carbohydrates, alternating between increased and decreased consumption, and mixed it with fat. His caloric intake and food quantities varied, not precisely known, but it is estimated that he consumed approximately 3,700 calories a day, around 400 grams of carbohydrates, almost 100 of fat, and 300 of protein. It's a surprisingly high amount for someone maintaining such a low body fat percentage. Imagine the metabolism this guy had. He was a machine. A 3% body fat percentage is something most humans couldn't endure for more than a few weeks. A body fat percentage below 7% in men and 15% in women is considered low, depending on the person. Yet below that number, there can be various health consequences. Bodybuilders often lower their body fat significantly despite the dangers associated with achieving that look. After all, these are specific conditions for a particular competition, a season, a few months. However, this guy was consistently shredded for 20 years. Outside the context of competition and making it a profession, it's not something I would advise anyone to do. Getting lean for the summer, to look superb, I would never recommend anyone to drop to body fat percentages as low as Helmut's, let alone maintain them for an extended period. I think this man's case is not only a testament to incredible discipline and an uncommon mindset, but also exceptional genetics. For some reason, his body could handle those low body fat percentages without getting weak or sick, maintaining them for a long time, with mental and physical health intact. He never had a problem, as far as I know, and he's still alive, as I mentioned. Nowadays, we also have active bodybuilders and competitors with extremely low body fat percentages and much more muscle mass. For example, we have Hadi Choopan, Chris Bumstead, Regan Grimes, also some classic competitors like Wesley Vissers, Michael Davis, Breon Ansley, Urs Kalakinski. I don't know what you think about this man and his story. To me, his physique is astounding, impressive to see, and very beautiful. Certainly, it's not something I would recommend anyone to attempt, and only he and a few others can achieve it. If you enjoyed this, give it a wealth of support. I'll bring more videos like this. I'll also leave the link to the animal bodybuilders in the description, in case you haven't seen it. Let's wrap it up for today. See you in the next one.